This tutorial will show you how you can manage the user permissions within ID8. Setting permissions consists of two key steps and one optional additional step. The first step is to determine what components you will enable for top-down and bottom-up challenges. Then you will have to assign the rights to create bottom-up and/or top-down challenges to the various public user groups. Once this is done, people within these user groups will inherit the permissions of the user groups. But if needed, you can assign additional individual permissions. This tutorial will demonstrate these key three steps. To determine which components are enabled for bottom-up and top-down challenges, go to System Admin and then to System Configuration. If you are not a system administrator, you will not have access to this functionality. Near the bottom, you will see the different components that can be enabled for bottom-up and top-down challenges. The first component is Enable Assignments. This component has two options, Assigned or Invited. With Assigned, participants will be assigned to the challenge. With the Invited setting, participants will be invited to the challenge, and then they will have the option to either accept or decline the invitation. The default setting is Assigned for top-down and Invited for bottom-up challenges. The second component is Enable Trading. If this is enabled, challenges can be configured with the trading mechanism. If this is not enabled, then the challenge is always a dynamic voting challenge. The default setting for top-down challenges is to enable trading, and for bottom-up challenges, not to enable trading. The next component is Enable Detailed Configuration. If this is enabled, many detailed challenge settings can be configured, such as the starting share price of ideas and the costs for publishing new ideas onto a challenge. If this is disabled, challenges will use default settings for all these configuration options. The default setting for top-down challenges is to enable detailed configuration, and for bottom-up challenges, it is not to enable this. The remaining components are pretty much self-explanatory. They determine whether a challenge can use categories, idea assessments, expert rating, and idea approval loops. The default setting for top-down challenges is to enable all these components, and for bottom-up challenges, to disable them. It is recommended to leave all these settings at their default value, but you can decide to override them. The next step is to set the permissions for the various public user groups. You can do this under Manage User Groups. It is recommended to maintain the minimum privileges principle. Only give those permissions to users that are truly necessary. In our example, we would give all user groups the rights to create bottom-up challenges, and only one specific group, the ID8 moderators, the rights to create top-down challenges as well. To view the permissions that the various users have, click on View Permissions. Click on a particular user to see exactly what permissions that user has and from which user group they are inherited. If you want to give more permissions to a specific individual, you can assign the extra rights at the bottom of the page. Click on Save to save your changes. This concludes the tutorial on how to manage permissions. Have a look at other ID8 tutorial videos to learn more about the exciting features and possibilities that ID8 offers.